My newsletter that I wrote last week got deleted due to some sort of technical glitch, and I'm actually glad it happened. Now, that might sound weird, but this is going to be a long one, so this is only going to go out to my followers because after a video is over 3 minutes, I don't know, Instagram and YouTube don't really share it out to new people, so I don't care. Sort of like an announcement slash check in slash where I'm at with my newsletter and writing as a whole. Because when I started my newsletter, I used it as sort of something to push me to write more because I enjoyed writing, but I didn't get around to it as much as I wanted to. So I started the newsletter as a bit of social pressure to get me to write every week and to sort of have a reason to write every week. And that was great for a long time. But the longer that I've stuck with that weekly writing cadence of forcing myself to put out an issue every week, the more of a burden it's become because what used to give me structure has now become an obligation that I need to fulfill with myself, sort of a stack of expectations where the bar gets raised every week and it's turned into me writing like a full essay every single week. Whereas like the first issue I wrote was like 500 words. It's kind of like a poem. It was much less intensive than the sort of cobbling together multiple ideas into some sort of weekly thesis that I'm doing, where it's like a 2,000 word essay. So what I'm going to be doing going forward, to anyone who is a subscriber of the newsletter, I'm going to keep the weekly cadence, but I'm going to separate the essays from the newsletter. So basically the weekly newsletter is really just going to become more of an actual newsletter. It's going to be talking about ideas that I've been exploring throughout the week, things I've been reading, podcasts I've been listening to, things I found interesting, recommendations for books or music or whatever, habits that I've been trying that have been working out really well, experiments that I've been running, lessons I've been learning, just sort of like a weekly like check-in slash grab bag of ideas and experiments and tips and tricks and stuff. And then the essays, the Kaizen issue series, is going to become more sporadic, a little more irregular. It's not going to be every week or every month. It might be every 2 weeks. It might be every 4 weeks. It might be every 6 weeks. Depends on how meaty the issue is going to be. Depends on how much I want to say. Depends on just where I'm at in terms of how busy I am in my life. And just giving that freedom to myself, I think is going to make the writing a lot stronger. And it's going to let the pieces be what they need to be instead of me trying to force a full essay out every single week, which it just wasn't becoming sustainable. And I think the power outage was a sign 2 weeks ago. And I think half or 3/4 of my issue this week getting wiped was another sign that what I've been trying to do to force myself to put out this issue every week is not sustainable. And it's becoming less enjoyable for me as well, which isn't good because I enjoy writing and I love writing. And when my system is sucking the joy out of the thing I love, then I know there's something wrong with it. So that's just sort of the shift I'm going to be making, is splitting the essay and the newsletter into sort of two things, where the newsletter will keep coming out every week, but it'll be a little lighter. It won't be as heavy. It'll be a little more actionable. And the essays, the more deep, introspective, full-length written pieces, will be a little more irregular, but I think it'll be a good balance, and I'm excited to see where it goes.